with Jamaicans of like mind in Jamaica. Connecting the Jamaican diaspora abroad and at home. Both sides of the story. Both sides of the story, highlighting the positive role of the Jamaican diaspora. Both sides of the story.
We always need to hear both sides of the story. Both sides of the story.
Time now for Both Sides of the Story on Power 106 FM. We will not take sides, but we listen to your side. Join us as we explore the issues, present the facts, speak with the experts, and as always, listen to both sides. What's your story? Tell us on Both Sides of the Story. 922-4112, 922-4113, 922-4114, and 922-4115. You can listen to both sides of the story on the Gleaner's website, www.go-jamaica.com, on your mobile phones at tunein.com or novex.com, or by dialing 832-551-5045 or 213-493-0133 in the USA. If you're in the UK, you can dial 020-3519-0145, and in Germany, 051-180-904044. Our email address is bothsides106@live.com, and you can join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, or look us up on Skype. We look forward to receiving your instant messages on MSN or Yahoo, and your text messages on 365-3346. Remember, we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak. So stay with us as we listen to both sides of the story.
Both sides of the story. Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
Take heed of this small child of earth. He's great. He hath in him God most high. Children before their fleshly birth are lights alive in the blue sky. In our light, bitter world of wrong they come. God gives us them a while. His speech is in their stammering tongue, and his forgiveness in their smile. Their sweet light rests upon our eyes. Alas, their right to joy is plain. If they are hungry, paradise weeps, and if cold, heaven thrills with pain. The want that saps their sinless flower speaks judgment on sin's ministers. Man holds an angel in his power. Ah, deep in heaven, what thunder stirs when God seeks out these tender things, whom in the shadow where we sleep, he sends us clothed about with wings, and finds them ragged babes that weep.
This song, dedicated especially to the people, who mean so much to each other. Well, I think it's fine, flying jumbo planes, or hitching a ride on a Kingston train. You know I've been to school, and Lord, I'm such a fool. And it isn't my fault, no, 'cause I followed your rules. I know we've come a long way, we're changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play? Where do can't wait. Lord, and it happened so fast. Cars fall apart, but you don't care. And the people complain, and the whole state there. Oh, I know we've come a long way, but changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play? Where do they play? Where do they play? And there's a tax increase with every crop decrease. And we learn to fight one another. Tell us that you stand for peace. 'Cause you work in the day and you sleep at night, and you live in the dark, Lord, and you think it's light. I know we've come a long way, changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play? Where do they play? Where do they play? Where do they play? Where do they play? Got nowhere to play. They got nowhere to play. They got nowhere to play. No, nowhere to play. Nowhere to play. They got nowhere to play. Nowhere to play.
It's the International Decade of Healthy Aging, the International Decade of Ecosystem Restoration, the International Decade of Ocean Science for Sustainable Development, the Decade of Action for Road Safety, and 2022 marks the start of the UN International Decade of Indigenous Languages. It's the 11th, make that the 12th day of the 5th month of 2022, the International Year of Sustainable Mountain Development, the International Year of Basic Sciences for Sustainable Development, the International Year of Glass, and the International Year of Artisanal Fisheries and Aquaculture. It's also the 12th day of the first month of the 2022 Atlantic hurricane season. The American Hospital Association and affiliated American health organizations are marking May as Mental Health Awareness Month, Stroke Awareness Month, Arthritis Awareness Month, Better Hearing and Speech Month, Cystic Fibrosis Awareness Month, Global Employee Health and Fitness Month, Healthy Vision Month, Hepatitis Awareness Month, Melanoma, Skin Cancer Detection and Prevention Month, Asthma and Allergy Awareness Month, Celiac Disease Awareness Month, High Blood Pressure Education Month, Osteoporosis Awareness and Prevention Month, Physical Fitness and Sports Month, Teen Pregnancy Prevention Month, and Older Americans Month. The month of May is being observed here in Jamaica as National Exporters Month, Child Month, Education Month, and Lupus Awareness Month. C'est manger pour divers lois en Haïti, Chronic Fatigue Syndrome Day in Australia, where they're also observing International Midwives Day down under. It's World Migratory Bird Day in Canada and the USA. It's St. Andrew's Day in Georgia, and Fibromyalgia International Awareness Day in the world. It's International Nurses Day. Hoy es jueves el 12 de mayo 2022 Y les saludamos en cualquier parte del mundo que nos están escuchando en este momento. Estamos muy agradecidos por el don de la vida y el privilegio de servirles en otra edición de su programa Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia. Nunca vamos a tomar su audiencia por sentado porque sabemos que ustedes tienen otras opciones y esta es la razón por la cual jamás olvidamos darle las gracias por elegir Both Sides of the Story, ambos lados de la historia, de lunes a viernes desde las 2 hasta las 5 de la tarde, aquí en Power 106 FM. La misión continúa para educar, capacitar, iluminar y estimular el espíritu empresarial. Bienvenidos.
This song, dedicated especially to the people who mean so much to each other.
C'est jeudi le 12 mai 2022 et nous vous saluons tous qui nous écoutez où que vous soyez dans le monde. Nous sommes reconnaissants du don de la vie ainsi que du privilège d'être à votre service par une nouvelle édition de votre programme Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre. Nous ne considérons pas votre fidélité comme l'un de soi parce que nous savons que vous avez l'embarras du choix. C'est pourquoi nous n'oublions jamais de vous remercier de choisir d'écouter Both Sides of the Story, le pour et le contre, du lundi au vendredi de 2h à 5h de l'après-midi sur notre antenne Power 106 FM. Nous continuons notre mission d'éduquer, d'habiliter, d'éclairer et d'encourager l'esprit d'entreprise. Bienvenue.
We've been building roads way back in the past, and they disintegrate.
All we're saying is it's Thursday, the 12th of May, 2022, and we greet you well, wherever in the world you are listening to us right now. We remain eternally grateful for the gift of life and the privilege to serve you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story. We don't ever take your listenership for granted because we know you have choices. And that's why we never ever forget to remember to say thanks for choosing to listen to Both Sides of the Story, Monday to Friday, 2 to 5, right here on Power 106 FM. The mission continues to educate, empower, enlighten, and encourage entrepreneurship. Welcome.
With every crop decrease, and we learn to fight one another. Tell us that you stand for peace.
Today is also International Day of Plant Health. On this, the 12th day of May 2022. Good afternoon to those of you listening to us on 106.1, 106.3, 106.5, 106.7, and 106.9. From Morant Point to Negril Point, from the Goat Islands to Galena Point. This is Power 106 FM, serving Jamaica and the diaspora. Hello to those tuned in via the Power 106 FM app, which you have downloaded from the App Store or the Google Play Store, depending on the nature of your device. Downloading is free, listening is free, whenever, wherever. We acknowledge those who have dialed a designated number to listen to Power 106 FM from the United States and the United Kingdom. If you're in the US and you wish to dial a number to listen to Power 106 FM, your number is 631-359-8281. From the United Kingdom, it's 0330-606-0953. There's more after the break.
Walk
into Marjan's Pharmacy and you will feel better. The service is clearly different. Marjan's Pharmacy, call 876-703-6335. The time by Marjan's Pharmacy is 2:15.
Did you know that the flu can lead to hospitalization and even death? Pregnant women, persons 60 years and older, babies and children, and persons with a chronic illness such as diabetes, asthma, or heart disease are at a high risk for complications from the flu. Get the flu vaccine today. Visit your nearest health center and ask to be vaccinated. The flu is no joke. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Cause I followed your rules. I know we've come a long way. We're changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play? Where do they play?
We started out this afternoon with the poetry of Victor Hugo, a piece entitled The Poor Children. In this Child Month, this is the 12th day of Child Month, Victor Hugo wrote about the poor children. And we paired that piece with John Jones's interpretation of Where Do the Children Play? Where do the children play? And if you listen closely to the lyrics, you'll find that they're quite potent in more ways than one. Good afternoon to those of you listening to us via the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Subscribers to onespotmedia.com also have access to both sides of the story in particular and Power 106 FM in general. We continue to salute our nurses, not just today, International Nurses Day, but always. And that celebration will continue, and especially on a day like today, when we celebrate our nurses. And we want to wish them all the very best as they continue to serve us on the front line with in this dynamic environment at home and abroad, where as much as we have the scientists on the job morning, noon, and night, and the doctors and the virologists and the infectious disease specialists, the immunologists, all the other experts on the job, the nurses continue to play their part. They to deal with the situation as it arises, because when the doctors are off for whatever reason, or they're doing their rounds, the constant in the environment, in the health environment, are the nurses. They're pretty much always there. And so, especially for the nurses on this International Nurses Day, it's always a pleasure to salute people like you, our nurses.
If you give a little more than you take, and if you try to fix more than you break, if you're the kind who takes the time to help us, if you stand up for those down on their knees, and lend a voice to those who cannot speak, If you shine a little light, give sight to the ones who've lost their way. There's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. If you walk around with your heart on your sleeve, and if you're trying to be the change you wanna see, if you lay down your life for love so someone could be saved, there's a place for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, there's a place up there for people like you. I've heard up there the streets are made of gold, and when you get there, there's a hand to hold. I believe when your days down here are through, yeah, there's a place up there for people like you. I know you're out there, so keep doing what you do.
The first one I sent.
There's a place up there
I'll signal to you when.
like you.
Ignore the one I just sent. The first. We're going to the first one. Gramps Morgan. Musical tribute there to our nurses on this International Nurses Day. And then there is the news, sadly, of the passing of Dr. the Honorable Barbara Gludon, OJ, 2 weeks after the passing of her husband, Ansel. And so we want to use this opportunity to convey our condolences to the family members, friends, colleagues, neighbors, well-wishers, listeners on the passing of Dr. the Honorable Barbara Gludon, OJ. We have no doubt she would appreciate this next selection from our own AJ Boots Brown, a song made popular some years ago and still quite popular and performed all over the world in tribute to those who have left us. And so we're following in that tradition this afternoon of celebrating the lives of those who have served and have subsequently moved on. So, a tribute to the Gludon family, the family of the late Dr. the Honorable Barbara Gludon, OJ. That's not it. We'll come back to that in a moment. In the meantime, again, we've had the pleasure and the honor of meeting Dr. the Honorable Barbara Gludon, OJ, and always quite pleasant and ready to share. There's always a story. There's always a story to tell. Yes, there's always a story to tell. Sadly, it is indeed time for us to say goodbye to the late Honorable Barbara Gludon, OJ. This one was the first one. The other one that was sent second.
Quando sono sogno all'orizzonte mancano le parole. Sì, lo so che luce in una stanza quando manca il sole. Se non ci sei tu con me, su le finestre. Mostra a tutti il mio cuore che hai acceso qui dentro me la luce che hai incontrato per strada. Time to say goodbye. I'll see che non ho mai vissuto con te, adesso sì vivrò con te, partirò. Sognavi per mari e io lo so, non esistono più, con te lo vivrò. Quando sei lontana sogno l'orizzonte, mancano le parole. Io so che sei con me, tu mia luna, tu sei qui con me. Mio sole, tu sei qui con me, con me, con me, con me. Time to say goodbye. I'll leave e non ho mai vissuto con te. Adesso si rivivrò con te.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:30. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest. There is no contest, it's the best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you're feeling. We got cheesy, zoomers, caramel crunch, potato chips, well come and get it, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest.
Yeah.
There is no contest, is the best mix, so we're feeling best. Enjoy Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack. Best mix, best value. Best mix, so we're feeling best.
PSOJ's Crime Stop Jamaica 311 unsolved. We need your help to solve the brutal murder of Ricky Shrimpy Bailey. 5:10 a.m. Wednesday, January 1, 2020. Mr. Bailey had just left a New Year's party at Sabina Park when he was attacked and shot to death. Crime Stop Jamaica and concerned citizens are offering a total reward of $800,000 for information leading to the arrest and charge of those responsible. Call Crime Stop Jamaica 311. Solving crime pays.
Mama, where would I be, Lord?
Send mom your love this Mother's Day with a 20% discount on One Spot Media's 12-month subscription plan. Get access to 10 of Jamaica's best TV and radio stations, unrestricted access to our video-on-demand catalog, and watch up to 3 screens at the same time using a laptop, phone, or tablet. Simply log into onespotmedia.com, select the pricing page, and purchase the 12-month plan. Offer ends May 16.
Or hitching a ride on a Kingston train. You know I've been.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story. Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5. The text line, same as the WhatsApp number, which means you can not only send us your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, your voice notes, but you can also call us via WhatsApp. That number is 876-365-3346, 876-365-3346. Jennifer Stewart from Kew Road in Kencott, East Central, St. Andrew. Good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for joining us. Sharon Richards in Savannah Lamar, Westmoreland says, good afternoon, Sir Malcolm. Blessed love to you and all listeners out there. Happy Nurses Day to all nurses. We salute you and we say thank you for all you're doing. Condolences to the Gludon family also. May her soul rest in peace. Thank you very much for your messages here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, on Power 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world. Good afternoon to Sean. Good afternoon to Dervan. Thank you very much for joining us here on Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. By way of update, we have some information for you. Our way of keeping you abreast of developments in Jamaica and the rest of the world. Samuda blasts air traffic controllers over industrial action. Now, why would Carl Samuda, an experienced politician and a minister of government, do that? Samuda blasts air traffic controllers over industrial action. Minister of Labor and Social Security, Carl Samuda, is calling for the Industrial Disputes Tribunal, IDT, to take the appropriate steps to ensure normalcy is returned to the country's airports. Air traffic controllers have taken industrial action, forcing the closure of Jamaica's airspace. It is reported that they're at work, but are not carrying out normal duties. They're reportedly upset about protracted salary issues. Samuda says he strongly condemns the action of the controllers, given that the matter is currently before the IDT and is being addressed. So what is really the problem here? Because we heard Kurt, what's his name? Kurt Salmon or Solomon of the air traffic controllers indicating, Kurt Solomon, president of the Jamaica Air Traffic Controllers Association, telling us essentially that there are problems with the mechanisms in place to manage Jamaica's airspace, and that they have shared that information with the authorities, and they have brought it to the attention of the authorities. And he went as far, Kurt Solomon, as to tell us what the Civil Aviation Authority, Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, has had to say about our problematic air traffic control mechanism. Now, it's a real shame if it is that we have known about problems with our air traffic mechanism for some time, and the matter has not, on the face of it, apparently received the attention that it deserves. So we can't be encouraging and trying to get more flights into Jamaica. And the tourism minister has been very busy in that regard, perhaps one of the most consistent ministers in terms of his stick-to-itiveness and performance overall, not just on a local level, but on a global level. But it cannot be that we're busy ushering people into Jamaica and welcoming airlines taking on new routes and so on, and our air traffic apparatus is not where it's supposed to be. That's what we heard from Kurt Solomon on the news. We're told, let's see if we can bring it up. The island's air traffic controllers say they cannot guarantee normality at the country's international airports after wage talks ended abruptly on Friday at the Ministry of Labor. The Jamaica Air Traffic Controllers Association is now discussing with its members what action to take. Kurt Solomon, president of JATCA, on Friday afternoon confirmed that the members are restive over the slow pace of negotiations to settle its wage claim. So where is the part of the story where he speaks to the problems associated with the system? That's what we heard on the news. Let me see if I can bring up the rest of this story. Oh, it's updated now. The story has been updated. IDT, that's the Industrial Disputes Tribunal, intervenes in air traffic controllers dispute. The Industrial Disputes Tribunal, IDT, has intervened in the dispute between the air traffic controllers and the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority, which has led to the suspension of flights. The IDT has invited the Jamaica Air Traffic Controllers Association and the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority to an emergency meeting scheduled for 2 o'clock this afternoon, which means the meeting should be underway now. The air traffic controllers have taken industrial action to have the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority address problems. Here is it. This is what I've been searching for, because this is what I heard on the news, that the air traffic controllers have taken industrial action to have the Jamaica Civil Aviation Authority address problems with the aeronautical system. More than 45 flights at the Norman Manley and the Sangster International airports have been cancelled as a strike resulted in the closure of Jamaica's airspace. The government says the cost to the economy is approaching billions of dollars. Now we have to do better than this. It cannot be as assuming, and we have no reason to doubt Kurt Solomon, assuming what Kurt Solomon says is in fact so. How did we get to this place? Remember, some time ago we had this problem and the airspace was shut down a couple of times. Anybody remembers that some time ago, a few years ago? Why are we there? Why are we here again? Why are we here again? It cannot be that we are busy marketing the country and engaging in partnerships with airlines here and airlines there to get people to Jamaica. And we have, according to Kurt Solomon of the Jamaica Air Traffic Controllers Association, telling us that there is a problem with our aeronautical system. This is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. Somebody has to take responsibility for this. So the answer cannot be, as Mr. Samuda, I'm surprised. It's bad enough that Mr. Samuda misled Parliament a couple days ago. And now Mr. Samuda, remember he had said that water had been restored when in fact no such thing. He has subsequently apologized. Now he has moved from that story. He's moved to another story now where he's, according to the Gleaners online platform, he's blasting air traffic controllers over industrial action. So what is it? Is it action for more money or to get action to fix the aeronautical system that is said to be faulty or problematic or not functioning as it should? Somebody needs to give us the full story, quite frankly. This is totally unacceptable and embarrassing. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's hear what Driver in America has to say. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Dervan. Good afternoon to Jamaica.
Whoa, what kind of building are you in? What kind of building are you in? Something doesn't sound right there. Ooh.
Yes.
Is it an empty building? It sounds...
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
In a warehouse. Let me try my first.
Please. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls. A little better. Let's go with that. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
I will start off. I recognize your tribute to Sister Goudan, Mrs. Goudan.
Yes.
A real as patriotic a Jamaican as there has been.
Yes.
And the Grand Smog and tune, people like you, quite apropos, Andrea Bocelli, Conti Partiro.
That wasn't Andrea. That wasn't Andrea Bocelli. That was actually our own AJ Boots Brown.
Yeah, but hey, so again, salute to Jamaica.
That's the point I'm making.
That is all. Yeah.
Hold on, don't move. One moment. We're up on the break. One moment, please.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
2:45.
Advantage General Insurance Company wishes to advise the public that their new Kingston branch and claims offices at 4 to 6 Trafalgar Road has moved to 70 to 72 Lady Musgrave Road. Advantage General Insurance Company looks forward to serving you at 70 to 72 Lady Musgrave Road. Advantage General Insurance Company, a revolutionary digital experience awaits.
Get the most accurate news, sports, commentary, business, and more every Sunday from from the best. The Sunday Gleaner. Discover a new job, home, or upgrade to a new car. Get the latest in entertainment, health, finance, and so much more. Purchase your copy this Sunday. The Sunday Gleaner gives you everything you need and more. The Gleaner, where life unfolds.
Your health is key to your wealth. Suffering from muscle, joint, neck, back, and other pain? The Rehabilitation Institute of the Caribbean, providing medical care for function and performance in association with Winchester MRI, Jamaica's first choice for MR imaging. Immune Active Denk, a combination of key active ingredients designed to boost the body's natural defense. And Almighty Studios, a recording studio where they create worship music to praise, to worship, and to serve, presents Rehabilitation Now, a 30-minute feature on physical medicine and rehabilitation for people overcoming pain or dysfunction from injury or disease that affects muscles, tendons, nerves, and joints. Rehabilitation Now with host Alicia Taylor and rehabilitation physician Dr. Paula Dawson airs every Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m. on Power 106. Free your body from aches and pain with Rehabilitation Now.
Well, I think it's fine.
Thanks for holding. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Please go ahead, driver.
Yes, Brother Dervan. Please repeat that brother's name. I heard you mention him a few times before, pay tribute to him, and believe me, man, he's right up there with the great tenors, Placido Domingo, Andrea Bocelli, because I have not boasting my ear, music is my thing, and I couldn't tell the difference. Brother is like, primo.
Yes.
What's his name again, please?
A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. Okay.
Yes.
I will definitely go on YouTube and look at some of this stuff because you mentioned
He
them
at
before.
one stage had the record, I believe, for the longest. He used to perform in, in what's that gambling city? Not Las Vegas,
Atlantic
Nevada.
City?
Las Vegas.
Atlantic City?
No, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Okay, yes.
Yes, and his at one stage, his was the longest running act, I believe. Yes.
Wow.
In Las Vegas, yeah.
Like I said, school is knowledge, school is open teacher. So, I definitely going to look that up for the drive tonight.
Yes.
But check it out, Brother Dervan, to Mrs. Goudan.
Yes.
Man, can't say goodbye. So much a part of Jamaica, and there's an African proverb as long as they call your name, you're not dead. So maximum respect to her contribution to Jamaica, an example to all Jamaicans that we should, leave the place a little, make a contribution that's lasting before we leave this land,
Yes, for sure.
Leave the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, respect Mrs. Gruden and the RGR family and all her family and Jamaica and our world,
Yes.
Love that woman, man, the contribution she made to the arts, to so many aspects of the nation,
Yeah.
Yes, Brother Dervan, the thing now with the air traffic controller, it's a long time that going on, Brother Dervan, equipment.
Of course.
Standard. And it's not just, go ahead, please, sir.
No, I'm saying, of course, you're right. It's been a while. If you Google air traffic controllers in Jamaica, you'll see the different times over the years when they have taken strike action. It's there for all to see. And the problems that the problem that Kurt Solomon is saying that they with the system, the air traffic control system, they've had that problem before as well. Not this. I don't know if it's the same problem, but whatever it is, we have heard that before as well. But it cannot be that if it is in fact so that we have a faulty or problematic or malfunctioning air traffic control system, that's not something that you put off till tomorrow and next week and next month and the next 6 months, etc. That is an emergency.
Like you say, that's a salient part of the whole tourism apparatus.
It is.
And, to be, the amount of attention. But, that is what I said. There's no peripheral vision or leaders. I will also put in there, the other day, we heard somebody on the radio, they're complaining about bandage and them basic kind of things done at the hospital, running out, so stuff like this. And it's like the leadership, the whatever departments, permanent secretaries, or whomever, there's this disconnect. Nobody is talking to anybody. This one, they're not checking and see if that one, and that is a leader. Come on, you check every step along the way to make sure when you talk up where you that all the bases are covered, you know what you're speaking of. You're in Dubai and you hear some people talk of tourism and you hear say air traffic control strike and how much flight cancel because something that you overlooked, obviously.
Yeah. No, it's totally unacceptable at this level. You can't be fooling around like this.
And it's something that can be translated to so many other aspects, important aspects of our society. And it's not just this administration, it's just, Brother Dervan, my trust. From long time coming along, this has been, it's just things just reach a point where don't say the bucket back and drop out. You know what I mean? But so many people have come and gotten great salaries and had great positions and been in charge of things, and see our nation here. So much resources wasted, corruption or whatever, and we're none the better for it. And I'm just speaking to say this is indicative of so many other aspects of our infrastructure, our society.
Yes.
Even education. You see the same thing in education. Am I lying, sir?
There are deficiencies everywhere.
And Dervan, you speak of, say the brother name again. Pardon me, I wrote it down.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, right. That's just one indication. Mrs. Good, bless our soul. There is greatness and drop off of Jamaica as far as individual ability. So why are we in this state, sir?
Yeah, well, this is where the call for accountability, a greater level of accountability and transparency comes in.
And I think ethics and
Some
all
people
those things
people must take responsibility. People must take responsibility. It can't be that we have a situation like this and nobody is able to say, well, this is what happened. These are the steps that were taken, or something. All we can hear is, well, essentially the thing popped down, the air traffic controllers thing popped down, essentially, and therefore we have to close the airspace. So when did we know this? The questions that we usually ask when it comes to accountability: what did you know? When did you know it? And what did you do about it? What did you know? When did you know it? And what did you do about it? And whoever...
This has been so from a long time ago, Brother Dervan, from a long time ago, not just... It come out, it's like it come out to light. You see it in our education system, you see it in, water, nurses, health, teachers, everybody around with the country, with the quality people. So what the government, I don't even want to say government because it just sounds so flat. The people who, again, that's I say, have the audacity to say, all right, they're going to lead. And not just to go there and profile, and not to say some haven't tried, but the collective result is nation here. You see the result here. All who have come before and who are there right now, this is your collective work. And you're not getting any big up for it. And it's time. We can't just let our country just keep the one little thing we have left for reputation as a tourist resort. Now you know what I mean, you up this blemish. I think people are flying a plane and it and see if anybody put the elephant man out there for signal the plane. You know what I mean? Come on, man. We have to be up to date with our thing right now, you know? Airline safety, the tourism industry just getting back on its foot. Them fight to get tourists coming there. And nobody said all the 2 years while everything was sitting. Say, how things stay over here, traffic control, how things stay over here, how build up the country. You understand what I mean, brother Dervan?
Yeah.
As I said, the Chinese character for, you know, chaos. But when the pandemic and everything come, it's the same sign for opportunity. What did we do in those 2 years? What have we accomplished? What did we do to prepare ourselves for coming out of the pandemic, sir?
I guess just keep things the way they were and still are.
Just want, you know, we in a power for with time. When we gonna get out of that? Look at our nation, man. You know, oh, come on. I don't know. I need to say God. I think Brother Dervan and our all come right down to the person in the street. You know what I mean? You see that word, you say integrity. You know what I mean? Them kind of things. That's the kind of just not here. Getting along each day. Just going along each day.
Yeah, it's
you know,
most unfortunate, quite frankly. I just
I know, Brother, it just saddened me, man, because you know, as a person, you know what Jamaica could be. Just as the international, the brand that we are and everything. And these people just sit down and pity party. Don't do anything until one airline crash and you hear this and that and everybody around a lot. What happened? You know? Thank goodness these guys, these air control men and women in the air control profession took action now before some, because they are there. That's a that's a pressure cooker, you remember, brother, air traffic control.
One could also argue and wonder and speculate as to whether they could not have taken this action sooner, considering the urgency of that kind of situation. You cannot afford to have a problematic air traffic control mechanism. It's just not on.
No. Which is why I can't understand why they had to come to this. That is something that should be upfront in terms of priority, things to be corrected, things to be worked on. You know what I mean? Just have much emphasis on it.
And this is the thing, we're coming from a time. Look, in the hospitality sector, they use the downtime to refresh the properties, repainting, repaving, repairing, restoring, renovating, renewing, all of that. That's what they do in hospitality. We've had a couple of years of COVID-19, a glorious opportunity to check our systems, our settings, what is not working, what needs to be repaired, because the perfect time to have press the reset button as far as our air traffic control mechanism is concerned would have been during those early days of the COVID-19, in that period of the lockdown when we hardly were having any air traffic. That would have been,
like you said, the Chinese character, you know, the same one for crisis is the same opportunity, you know what I mean? So, you know, rather than sit down and cry, we take the opportunity, as you're saying now. So, and I'm sure these people have been in the Ministry of Transportation the year. It's not just they get up one day and say they're going to strike. They've been speaking to people, they've been appealing to people, but they just haven't been addressed. It just came to this where they had to take this action. And I heard people this morning, they complaining, my flight, that's the bigger picture is, thank God they've never gone till the plane crash and failure, you know what I mean?
God forbid. We have to go to the break. Thank you.
Everything good, man. Brother Dervan, again, we appreciate your message through that. Sleep in eternal peace. Bless.
Amen. Take care.
And we learn to fight one another.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3 o'clock. Come up, I can be feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest, the rest. No contest is best mix, so we feeling best. Best value to how you're feeling. We got cheesy, zoomers, caramel punch, potato chips, well come and get it, yeah. Combo pack up, we feeling best. Sunshine stacks above the rest, the rest. No contest is the best mix, so we feeling best. Enjoy Sunshine Snacks Combo Pack. Best mix, best value. Best mix, so we feeling best. Where do they play? Where do they play? Where do they play?
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on the program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Taking your calls on 876-365-3346. That's a text line, same as the WhatsApp number. You can also call us, of course, on our regular call-in lines, 876-922-4112 to 5. 876-922-4112 to 5. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling. Hello.
Right time?
Yes, sir.
I'm not sure. You are, sir. Greetings, my brother. Mr. Smoother is getting from bad to worse, from bad to worse, and bad to worse. Even if what he claimed that they struck for is an industrial action for, they should not reach that stage that they have to strike for money. That should have been this easier settling dispute because they earn most of Jamaica foreign exchange that Jamaica earn in tourism. Am I not correct?
Yes.
Right. So if they are earning the most foreign exchange in the country by their work, they should be the one that you say, boy, we can't afford to them disgruntled over nothing, you know, we take care of them. So it shouldn't recess. So moreover, what is the real reason is not all about themselves. It's about the safety of others and the lives of others that they are protesting about. So they never put themselves up front. And those persons responsible for thousands of people per day that come through our airspace. And if you have equipment or a system that is not up to par at its best, we can't take no chance that error can occur. So from the moment it has brought, as you actually said, it should be treated as emergency. It should not be allowed for a drought to repeat it reported more than once until the man has said, well, we have got to do what Jamaican politicians listen to best. Because they don't block road, going on industrial action or protest, they don't listen to you. So that's what them oppose people because they go resort to these industrial actions, you know, because that's the only thing they listen to. So for him now to come out and report and tell the people them that cause, he should be ashamed of that. Moreover, that is the main reason. So I wanna tell you, you know how much people like the man them is responsible for one mistake, all of the plane them up, they can crash up now or another. So I just hope that he really Kyle Marley make some statement with some bypass on ill-advisors, and I know he should have fired at the advisor. Because the advisor is out turned back on him.
Well, there are a couple of updates just popping up on the Gleaners website in response to what's happening. First one says, PM urges public sector workers to be reasonable. Prime Minister Andrew Holness is urging public sector workers and their unions to be reasonable in how they press their case for adjustments in wages and salaries. Holness is charging that there's no reason for workers to take actions that would dislocate the state and the country's growth. It's not logical. It doesn't make sense for us to kick over our own pail of milk. I urge reason, he said, while speaking this morning at the installation of Ian Forbes as Custos of St. Andrew. We have gotten this far because we have managed the finances of the country so well that the average Jamaican does not have to contemplate taxation. We're now at a point where we can start to address our remuneration and labor issues. Public sector workers have expressed frustration with the government over outstanding wage issues. They're also opposed to the government's new compensation review, upset workers at the National Water Commission. So this is a background to that. And today, of course, the air traffic controllers have downed tools over protracted salary issues, and the 30,000 government workers represented by the Jamaica Civil Service Association have agreed to put the government on notice that strike action by them over wage reforms is imminent. Holness emphasized that the change to compensation in the civil service is necessary to make it more efficient, noting that the exercise is not intended to make any worker worse off. And the story goes on. You can read that in the Gleaner. But just before you respond, Raskava, to go back to the other story, which is closer to the situation with the air traffic controllers. And the story is opposition calls for urgent meeting to restore air services. Opposition spokesperson on transport, Michael Phillips, is calling for the government to immediately convene a conciliatory meeting with air traffic controllers who have taken industrial action. Phillips says the government needs to move to ensure a quick return to normality as flights for tourists and Jamaicans are already affected, leaving people stranded in airports and hotels in Jamaica and globally. He's arguing that the industrial action and the resulting disruption of Jamaica's air services were preventable had the government acted on several warnings over the past week and had taken the necessary actions. Raskava.
So, if they had taken the necessary action, that should be shared with the people who at least has reported the problem. And if they had shared with them the steps that has taken to remedy the situation, then why would they go on industrial action now? That's why sometimes we hear something we don't know what to believe from what not to believe, But, these things are something that it is even more important than NWC problem, because thousands of lives they have under their responsibility. As I go down, did you listen to Alango? I watch it with Dan?
No, I'm sure I was sleeping. I go to bed early.
The Minister of Finance was a guest on the show, and that was the worst of the minister presenting himself.
The finance minister.
Yeah, I know him to be a very eloquent speaker. I respect him and rate him for that. Intelligence he applied. But this time, it was his worst, because he what one time the man I said, boy, I know that me come here with this and he tap your road, and I said, boy, that now go so good.
Well, it's the same thing. That apparently is his personality, because all the talk shows I heard him on today, it was pretty much the same attitude, and it's not new. He's always taken that posture. He has a story to tell, and he wants to tell it. He wants to be able to tell it in the sequence in which he chooses to tell it. Yes.
Right. And that's not good. You're invited to answer questions, not to come and make a presentation, political presentation or otherwise. You listen to the questions and you answer them accordingly. He must tell the woman she must give him time to talk. That's not what he invited you to listen to your deliberation. He wants you to clear up something that is in the minds of people. And yeah, what makes she knows about she talk a lot and she want time to talk, and it was so, I don't know what adjective to use to describe his performance, Bridget. And those are the representatives that represent us here and abroad. And not because you want to put across a point that makes the point that the interviewer is asking or putting across is of no importance. You need to answer question that is asked of you. Don't answer a question that is never asked of you. If you do that, you will end up paying your father's debt. And I never like it, brethren. I mean, I know, but I have to say it the way I see it.
Yeah.
Give thanks again. And Miss Gludan, I think Miss Gludan was a substitute for Miss Louise Bennett in a lot of ways. And she has done a lot for this country in media and education of the nation. And I think she need if not a state, a next to a state funeral.
Let's see.
Bridget.
Thank you. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Malcolm, I am mourning with the family from Clarendon, the gentleman who the people of their mob wrongfully misidentity. Now, it's too long this is happening in Jamaica. But I realize the apocalyptic that is taking place around the world, we are getting our share. But let I tell you this, even if these people was a captain for a ship and just come out and disturb and do what they do, I will be still getting the global police to come here to charge them. If I 60 of them, we're going to charge them and send them through the court if this government of Jamaica don't do anything to it.
Sorry to disappoint you, but that's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen?
No, you're wasting energy on that.
Well, let I tell you something.
And oxygen.
14,000 people abroad is on board with me.
To do what?
Have you hit the like button yet?
To do what?
That interested in getting the global police to come here to investigate this one.
No, there's no such thing. There's no such mechanism that allows for that to happen. It's just not on. So you might want to. No, that's not on. You might want to choose something else. That's not going to happen.
I tell you the truth.
If you want people to take you seriously, you'll have to drop that, and look to something else. Quite frankly, that's not on.
This one not going to go down easily, because guess what? If the government of Jamaica does not put in certain mechanisms to make the people in this country feel safe, then we going to have another guest come in. It is a shame to see it going on for so long. But this one is a must that is going to investigate. And if a 40 or 50 of them, they are going before the court. Because it must stop. Because we don't know who next.
As an actor on TV once said in the movies, good luck. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. All the best. Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. June in Norway is calling through on our text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Good evening.
Good afternoon, Jamaica time. Good evening, Norway time.
How are you?
I am giving thanks for life. And you? Medai. Mego bra.
I'm alright. Okay, now I'm listening.
What's happening?
And what you want a problem and all kind of things that but to be honest, I feel a little bad about my home country. And I'm gonna comment and I'm gonna just say it. And no one don't have to agree, because we agree and disagree. That's life. But sometimes the pressure is on the government. I know that. It's on every government in every country. But we must also remember to run a country, not government, to help everybody. Everybody should work and pay taxes. Because The money that most government in most countries are here in Norway and many other countries who help people who don't have anything and can run their country and give away and help and this and blah, blah,
Hold
blah.
one moment, please. We need to take a commercial break.
Coast to Coast Concrete, the high quality concrete for fencing, roofing, foundation, and road surfacing. Call 876-754-7472. The time by Coast to Coast Concrete is
3:15.
Your taxes hold the key.
property owners. Property taxes for year 2022-2023 are due. Payments can be made in full, half-yearly, or quarterly installments. So many ways to pay. You choose. Online at jamaicatax.gov.jm, the TAJ mobile app, mobile tax collection unit, and NCB online banking. Call 888-TAX-HELP. That's 888-829-4357 or visit jamaicatax.gov.jm for details. Farmers, come for a candid conversation with the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr. Learn more about the agricultural sector and the role we all play with its development. That's a Morning with the Minister, every second and fourth Friday of every month during Farm Talk with Alfie McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM.
This song.
Thanks for holding. Please continue.
Yes, Dervan, back to what I'm saying. I'm saying people, most countries who have money, like, okay, me come from Jamaica, me live in Norway. Me talk about Jamaica and Norway. This is the only two countries I can talk about. We work with pay tax. Right now, I'm a pensionist. Right now, and a lot of people is working today don't earn much more than I do as a pensionist. Because you work, you pay your taxes. It depends how long you work, how much you earn, how much taxes you pay. And when your time comes to be pensionist, you get back for how much you earn, how much you pay, blah, blah, blah. So I can't understand why so many people complaining about government, not this and government, not that, and it's very sad. Because, okay, you said no. Everybody, you have the damn them, the criminal, them, money in a pocket, money in a hand, everything right in the pocket. You have everybody go down there in the market, and up on the street, everybody just have to do their thing. But when tomorrow, when rain fall and water come down, then everybody are quarrel about government, not this and government, or that. If people don't work and pay taxes, it won't be no money. When the government don't get money from to help people, when people not help the government neither. Anyway, Dervan, I'm not gonna say anything more about that. I'm just gonna leave it here because everybody have their own opinion.
Yes, your position is quite clear. We hear you loud and clear. Yes. Thank you. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Oren says, Mr. Malcolm, lots of tourists have to be paying for extension after being left stranded on the island. How do they hold the country hostage? Lots of frustrated guests can't leave. Not good, says Oren, and he or she goes on to say, and the system that led to the strike is bad at both airports. Really? And Donovan Campbell says, good day, Mr. Malcolm and listeners. Condolences to the Gludon family. Sadly missed. Kareen Campbell says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Listeners and viewers, International Nurses Day to all the nurses home and abroad. Thank you for fighting on the front line for us. God be with you all. Casita Johnson says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I love your patience with the callers. Kudos to you. Casita Johnson says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. We have one of the best PMs Jamaica will ever have going down in history. Jose Diaz says, I wonder who next is going to walk off the job or walk off their job. Kareen Campbell says, my deepest sympathy to the family of Miss Gludon. Sad. Thank you very much for your messages. Keep them coming as we go to more of your calls. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm.
Good afternoon.
¿Cómo estás? Yeah.
Muy bien, gracias. ¿Y usted?
Bien, todo bien.
Bueno.
Yeah. So Malcolm, is this government collecting more tax more than all previous government before?
I haven't looked at the numbers myself, but from general talks and discussions, we've heard in the news from time to time that the state is bringing in more money, more revenue than projected, is seeing more revenue than projected. Yes.
Yeah, because there's a lot of surplus,
Mm.
like I say. So I don't understand. So is it I know the debt is to pay, but you reach the amount of money to pay the debt and you have a lot of surplus. Use the surplus in paying some of the people, man. Use the surplus to pay the people.
But the finance minister seems to be saying in the multiple interviews in which I've heard him that that's what they're seeking to do now by doing what governments over the years, both JLP and PNP, have failed to do, to restructure the compensation mechanism, both in terms of benefits and salaries, right across the board for all the 140,000 public sector workers.
So what I'm trying to do then, paying everybody at all?
They're updating the system. In other words, there are people now who are earning less than they should be earning because the reclassification exercise has not taken place.
Yeah, because when I checking it out, I see nowhere this government have problem with money, This government have money, so I don't see no problem with money to pay, just like a previous caller. Well, maybe two should not live here still, but this government is collecting more tax and bringing in more tax more than any other government. You understand? So what the finance minister need to do is get the thing together and get police them paid and get the other people, the water people them paid and make the country run, keep the country going. Because people are get fed up and people are get away now. You can't hold people so long and not pay them. Mr. Malcolm?
Well, again, the government is insisting that that's exactly what they're trying to do now. They're trying to do now what governments past have been unable to do, or unwilling, or unprepared, or unable.
Right. For instance, you remember when the government said a lot of people that pay more for tickets, like car ticket, traffic ticket and all them things there. And how much billion them overpay. And one day them taking and going to parliament, and correct that, Am I lying?
I'm hearing you. Yes, you're right.
So, this government going around and say, do not try, them try. Let's say that it about 7 years now, I take 6 years, about 7 years now. Them in a power. And then, look here, keeping from 26 go on. All right, for instance, you know that when Dr. Philip go with the plan to the IMF, say the IMF did think Jamaica did go heal up with that plan, but the IMF just make it go through, and the people them say, all right, they will bear, they will tie them belly, and don't take no razor pay, and it continue with this government, and this government continue it. No, the people need their money. No tax, more tax are coming and more revenue are coming. The people need their money. Kind of people know say other same plan the way Dr. Peter Philip go with I work until now. No other plan no come up to them. Am I
plan in relation to what?
The IMF deal.
No man, the IMF arrangement essentially ended.
I'm not talking but they're still working with the pattern.
Yeah, Jamaica has a long history with the IMF. At one stage, Jamaica was the poster child for the IMF, you know.
Yes, because of the last plan that Peter Phillips set.
No man, I'm actually going way back. Way back when no, I know you have to put forward your political position. That's quite clear. But I'm saying to you that Jamaica, I'm just giving you the history, that Jamaica has always been, one way or another, the poster child of the IMF, going back from the days when growth was 6 or more %, etc. And I've shared the history before on this program, where the IMF was holding up Jamaica as an example to the rest of the world. And that has happened. That was years ago, decades ago. And that has happened as well within the last 10 to 15 years as well. So Jamaica, there's something about Jamaica which always seeks to endear people to this place and to want to do business and to want to assist Jamaica. And that continues, except not in the strictest sense of an IMF program. But that relationship continues.
You know what I mean? Because you must remember, them couldn't get no deal from the IMF, you know. And a Peter Philip go get a deal. And at the deal, and at that same pattern,
it's amazing the number of stories we hear about that, because we also hear about the Black Caucus in America. And there are some names of Jamaicans in Washington, D.C., who spoke with the head of the IMF at the time. So there were all kinds of people working for Jamaica. And at the time, Portia Simpson Miller was the prime minister. Dr. Peter Phillips was the finance minister. But we also had members in the diaspora who were working behind the scenes to ensure that Jamaica got another deal with the IMF. So it wasn't any one person who made that difference.
I'm not talking who made a difference, you know. I'm only talking about, say, them get the deal, and the deal is working up until now. I don't speak for neither PMP nor GLP. I'm Rascal, you know.
No, I'm saying to you have come, the way you said what you said, it's like the current finance minister. I have come here to say what I want to say. No, I don't want to hear what you are saying about years ago or way back when. That's a long time. Because you have your political position to put forward. And when I use the word political, it doesn't necessarily mean for a party, because politics is involved in everything according to what we set out to achieve.
I'm a human rights activist. Let me just let you know. I'm a human rights activist, international human rights activist. Right? Now look here. What I'm saying that the government is collecting more money in them coffers right now. The government set up a tax plan in a way. If a thing's raised for $100, if a thing's that sell for $100, it raised for $200. Them collect $30. So if them used to collect $15 off of $100, when the thing raise up, or if the dollar gone up, them get $30 for the money doubled. All them stock plan said them never lose. So them collecting more money than ever.
And
now.
Ironically, they're not the ones who engineer that. It's the market. It's how the market operates, and they're benefiting from that. Yes, but they can't on their own. They can't engineer that. That's market forces at work.
Who own the market?
The market.
The market with the market.
Yes.
And so the government with the market. The market with the market.
Government doesn't own any market.
What are you saying to me?
Government doesn't own anything. Government is overseeing for the people's affairs, the affairs of the country for a time. They don't own anything.
Who oversees the market? Who oversees the market?
That speaks for itself.
You see, problem is this, you know, nothing speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself. I don't know. The market determines the prices. The market determines the prices. Market forces. There are all kinds of forces at work. You learn that in economics. One moment, please.
Importers provide proper invoices for customs when presenting goods for examination. This could prevent delays during clearance. The time by the Jamaica Customs Agency is 3:30.
4-H clubs across Jamaica will parade their accomplishments, having participated in highlighting the agricultural competencies, education, skills, and achievements at the parish level in this year's staging of the Jamaica 4-H Club's National Achievement Day, under the theme, Youth in Agriculture, Strengthening Food Security Through Innovation and Technology. This Friday, May 13 at the Denby Showground in Clarendon. Tune in to Power Talk from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for highlights from the event. This live broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica 4-H Clubs, the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, the National Irrigation Commission, NIC, and SCJ Holdings Limited.
So you have forces like supply and demand. You have forces like competition. You have forces like currency. You have currency matters. You have forces like government policy, etc. All of those things working together in this marketplace. Those are market forces.
Who manage those forces?
All the players in the market have something to do with that.
Who manage those forces?
All the players in the market, all the market forces, the suppliers, and those who purchase from them. Competition in the marketplace for different, same products, different prices, or trying to match each other's prices. Government policy, currency matters like the devaluation of the dollar, etc.
You know that, Mr. Malcolm?
I didn't hear a word that you said a while ago. You weren't on the board.
Every time the dollar devalues, the debt goes up.
Yes.
Am I lying?
That's a fact of life.
Okay. So who manage those forces? Let me ask that again.
If this could have been managed by the people you believe are the ones who ultimately, if this could be managed by the people who you ultimately say are responsible for it, we would not be having this discussion right now. We have been having the dollar up and down for decades now. That is not going to stop anytime soon. They keep pumping money into the market to try and stabilize conditions, and it keeps going back to the same thing. It just goes to show there are market forces. There are people who are rich enough in this country to cause the kind of fluctuations that we've been seeing. So that's not going. It boils down to market forces, whoever those people are, whatever those sources are. It's just a fact of life. Sounds like you haven't been listening to me. So what has happened? The program assistant has had to bring you down on the board so that I could speak without having to be talking over you. So you're not listening. You're just talking. Okay. But I'm giving you time now to speak because I'm stopping right now. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, I'm saying that. You speak about the bank, right? Isn't some banker managing the bank in Jamaica?
If you were listening to me and not talking when you should be listening to me, you would have heard me say that a while ago.
Okay. So who manage them? Who manage the country? Who manage the bank? Who responds to them then?
The people who have been appointed.
The people who appoint them.
The people who have been appointed to manage.
You mean the people who are appointed to manage are them respond to Jamaica?
They have been appointed because they either applied or were appointed to operate in those positions based on certain skill sets that they're supposed to have and experience and expertise to make certain, to arrive at certain positions on behalf of these institutions.
All right, let me just, all right, I'm going to make it because people are listeners, right? All right, let me just go more smaller, that's the people who are more wider people. The money them, I got print. We have to print some new money, right? Who advertise say we have to print the money them and we have to change our money.
Go ahead. I've stopped talking. I want you go ahead and talk. Because you go ahead.
Well, that's why I'm asking you. Who advertise say we have to bear the responsibility? We have to change the money them and we have to put that name upon the money and we have to put a picture upon the money, the picture and all that.
I don't need to respond to that. That's all over the news. That's been all over the news. You know that. So just say it. Go ahead and say it. You're afraid to say it?
No, I'm not afraid.
Well, say it.
I'm not afraid to say nothing.
Well, say it.
I already tell you, I'm not afraid to say nothing.
Go ahead and say it.
I'm saying that the Prime Minister is the one who select the bank, the management for the Bank of Jamaica. Just like how the Prime Minister,
I don't know.
The commissioner.
That's through the Public Services Commission.
Yeah. So where the buck stop? That's what I'm asking.
In terms of what?
All right. In terms of how the country running, where the buck stop?
The buck will always stop with the Prime Minister.
Okay.
So that's what's a fact of life.
You're coming to me now.
Please.
I have one more. I have one more question to ask. Someone come. I know that you're not a journalist. I just say that all the while. You're more a broadcaster, right? You believe that a journalist should be an advisor to the government?
Anybody can be an advisor to government.
Paid advisor.
Anybody can be a paid advisor to government. It's a function of the public sector. I don't remember under what umbrella it is now, but those who occupy certain positions, they have the opportunity to appoint or assign people. They're given a certain leeway in terms of how many people, how many advisors they can hire, etc.
Investigative journalists should be an advisor to the government. Where in the world do you hear that?
But
in which country? You know that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, but I surely ask you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right.
Those who I don't know what you're talking about to be able to answer the question.
Well, okay. Well, let me go ahead then. Well, in this country, you have people who get paid. You have people who them are the foreign government members pay them fee, put them a place to stay, and all them things there. So when it come on to...
Are you talking about the Jamaica Information Service?
No, I'm not talking about GIS.
Because the Jamaica Information Service does that.
I'm not talking about GIS. I know about GIS. I know GIS run already. GIS run for the government. Run with the government. But in this country, you have even radio station where adapt by the government, and the government spending billions and billions of dollars to portray what it's portraying, and spending more money on that station more than what it's spent from poor people in this country.
Yeah, but
the government needs to pay the police, pay whosoever them owe, because them are collecting more tax.
You have seen the books. You have seen the books of Nationwide News Network. You have access to the books of Nationwide News Network. So I'm calling because people. I notice there's this moves around from station to station, from talk shows to talk shows, where everybody is referring to Nationwide 90 FM. as getting all the government sponsorship, etc. I think that matter was raised before, and it was revealed that that wasn't in fact so. They were able to show the spread of advertising revenue on other stations, including this one.
In Jamaica.
There you go again. So you're not even listening to me. I think it's time to wrap because you really take me for Papi Show.
You think I'm not listening to you?
You take man for Papi Show. I don't understand you. You take what? No, don't bother with that. No, don't bother with that. Back up, man. Don't bother with that. Don't bother with that. You stop that right now. Don't bother go there. Don't you stop that now. You just stop that right now. And you're still talking.
Because they collect more tax now than ever.
No, I don't understand what you're saying because I didn't hear what you were saying before. No, you're just talking and talking and talking. I was not able to hear everything that you're saying. Yes, go ahead.
I'm saying that I know you have influence and I know you have links.
I have influence and links.
Yeah. I need you to tell the government to pay the police and pay.
You can do that right now if you are really serious.
You know what I mean?
If you are really serious, take the opportunity right now to tell the government what you want to tell the government. Go ahead.
All right. Just like how you remember the money that them say traffic.
No. Hold on now. You can't have your cake and eat it. Come on now. You said you want to tell the government something. Tell them what you want to tell them right now in relation to the police that you started saying. Go ahead, please.
And pay the water people them because they are collecting more revenues now than all government before. You understand? So they must pay the people them. Them can pay them and they must pay them now. Same like how them said them would how much billion to traffic, to we the traffic, we who have who them ticket and them take one day now and going and lick it off completely. That means we not get back no money, we not get back no ticket money and we not get back no money. Them take one day and solve that. Me I give them 1 week. The most can take 1 week and solve the police problem and solve all of the problem because they might collect enough more tax than ever. You understand? And them can even go into the 520 million where they get from the IMF. The last money with them draw down from the IMF for the Kobe, to deal with the Kobe recovery. Right? Because I don't know where that money go. We don't know where the money spent, and we don't know where the money go, and we don't know where it's spent. You understand? So put the people them. That's we can get water, and things can keep going and keep the country going. And thank you for having me, Mr. Marco.
Thank you very much for the call. Please call again.
Buenas gracias.
De nada. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-411-225. Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
Yes, Mr. Mark. That was the most interesting call. I heard on the news that the government, the Bank of Jamaica, is going to issue digital currency.
Yes.
I was wondering. So, does that mean that they will be issuing money so we, the public, can use like cash?
Yes.
And so I was thinking the other day that
I'm sorry, we're up on the break. Just hold your thoughts a moment and we'll pick it up after the break.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
3:45.
Farmers and fisher folks, Sagicor has all your answers with coverage for life and health insurance. Tune in this and every Thursday during Farm Talk for the feature Sagicor AgriCare Plan as we educate you on the types of coverage they have to offer. That's Sagicor AgriCare Plan every Thursday during Farm Talk from 6:33 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Sagicor, affordable life and health insurance for farmers and fisher folk.
And you live in the dark, Lord, and you think it's light.
Thanks a lot for staying with us here on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Hello, good afternoon. Thanks for holding. Please continue. You're asking about digital currency.
Yes, I was asking about digital currency, and if the government would be supplying the nation with digital money like it supplies the nation with cash. And you said yes, and it made me think of a few things. I heard people talk that Jamaica should print its own cash, and I thought that wasn't a good idea because it would cause it would not be secure.
Yes, we have been discussing that over the last couple of days, actually. And we did go through an article outlining why most countries don't print their own currency, and security is the main issue.
Oh, I see. So you're saying most countries do not print their own money?
That's right.
I see. I didn't know that part. I see.
Mm-hmm.
So you're
I think about 100. There's a particular mint in England that makes money for 140 countries, and I think we have about 192 or more states in the world, and one company. Because of security reasons, those who are in the mint business, the business of printing money, they have been in it for hundreds of years. And so there's a level of reputation and security. And in any case, poorer countries cannot afford to print their own money because the technology changes pretty frequently, and you have to change out these huge presses, as they call them, printing presses. You have to change them out. So it's not financially viable for a country like Jamaica, for example, to print its own money.
I understand. Yes, I understand now what you're saying. So the question now is, with that digital currency,
yes,
would we as a country be able to be secure with the digital currency, with the digital money?
That we would like to think so, based on the expertise of those who are involved, and the fact that they are in touch with their international counterparts to keep abreast of developments in that area and to make the necessary adjustments when needed. That is the hope. But the government of Jamaica did invite or encourage about 100, what was it, 150,000, was it? 100,000 plus Jamaicans to sign up for the digital currency, and they would get $2,500 in their account.
I see. Now, the question I have is, will we as a country, will we be able to have that discipline and integrity to not overprint?
Not overprint?
I shouldn't use the word print. To not make the wrong amount of money, of digital money. You know, understand?
No, except that this is actually, technically speaking, this is your own money. Oh. But it is, as a system is set up that allows you to use your cell phone. So, for example, a few nights ago, I don't even remember, I can't tell you how it popped up or came up on my phone and from where. But the link app popped up to say, hey, here's your opportunity to open your link account. And I followed the procedure, and it's up and running on my phone. I don't have any money, so there's no money on it. There's no money on it now, but it allows you. There's a tab that says cash in, where you are able now, when you tap on that, you can connect your bank account or your debit or credit card to that link. So when you go shopping and you look inside the window and you see that they have the link sign, it means you can just go there with your phone, and by the tap of your phone, you can pay for items in there and you're out of there. And you can send money to people, from my phone to your phone to granny's phone to auntie's phone, etc.
I see. So you're saying it is not a matter of the Bank of Jamaica creating money. This money will be from each member of the public's own source.
Based on this link system, yes. The other, there is a thing though which is called cryptocurrency, which has been taking hold across the world. Now this is for sure a digital currency, which is designed to work as a medium of exchange, just like the US dollar, for example, except that this is done through a computer network that is not reliant on any central authority, like a central bank or government, etc., to uphold it or maintain it. It's from a process of what they have individual coin ownership records that are stored. I'm not sure the extent to which we are ready for that yet in Jamaica, but it is happening. The most famous of them all so far is, I think it's called Bitcoin, the first decentralized cryptocurrency, Bitcoin.
Yes, but the main point I want to make sure about is that it is not the Bank of Jamaica that is creating extra currency.
Oh, no.
Right, it's not extra currency. It is the very currency we already have.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
I see, Mr. Malcolm, I see.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So at this rate, we might very well no longer need the very money that is being printed.
Oh yes, the cash in hand.
The cash in hand, right? Yes.
Whoa, I see.
Yes.
Well, obviously it is to ready us for that.
Essentially, yes.
Yes.
Yes. As my late mother would say, "I know something not go, a something not come." Yes.
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 My God, what is happening? Yes.
Yes.
Just one last thing. I noticed on your last call, he was not receiving any information from you.
Yes. Yes, I know how it is. People get excited about talking, and maybe because I teach communication as well. But the tendency is, I have something to say, and I want to say it, and I am going to say it. Now, because I am so excited about what I want to say, I end up talking and 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 talking nonstop.
Yes.
And so I don't get to subject myself to questions as to what I'm saying.
Yes.
And we can't have a conversation. We can't have a reasoning that way.
No.
You know.
So his narrative doesn't give and take.
Right. So he would have come with his own narrative to share on the program, but forgot to remember that the program also has a host, right? So it's not like just turning you on, or turning a button or flipping a switch, and you just talk until you decide to flip that switch.
A discussion where we both receive information.
Yes, but I know he means well. Anybody who knows me knows that I don't carry grudges or anything like that. I just tell it like it is and share what needs to be shared, and I move on. And if we have a heated debate or a heated conversation, no, once that comes to an end, that's it, and all is well.
Yes,
as my late mother would say, me no carry belly for people. I don't have time for that, because I learned a long time ago that the jailer and the jailed are both in jail.
Yes, you're correct.
Yes.
I like listening to your late mother's lyrics.
I love them too.
Thank you.
Thanks for the call. Take care. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Poro 106 FM. Still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Where is Crocs in Black River right now? He's the only one who's missing right now. Hold on, let me see if he's online yet. I always look forward to his messages. Crocs is a decent fellow, man. I don't have a problem with Crocs or anybody else for that matter, but all right, so Crocs hasn't written anything today yet. All right, so let's clear some messages, some of them from yesterday. Let's get through them. So Crocs had sent us a couple of additional messages other than the main one, which he sent in relation to the NWC and the association with the U.S. air traffic controllers strike in the 1980s under Ronald Reagan. He says, Dervan, unlike some, I do not operate clandestinely. Therefore, I do not operate via any undergarment. My political views are proudly and openly expressed. Then he goes on. He says, Mr. Malcolm, being a student of history, could you remind me of who it was that told a quack these immortal words? Physician, heal thyself. Remind us, please, Crocs. I don't remember who that was. All right, so let's go up the line now. Anthony in Montego Bay says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. I haven't heard anyone talk about the government ignoring the plight of the workers. For 14 days, they were waiting on the finance minister to address the situation. Therefore, it resulted in strike. If we don't take evasive action, we're always ignored. It's called respectability, and all we need is a listening, compassionate ear. From Anthony in Mobay. And then Anthony sent a rejoinder. He says, Mr. Malcolm, that caller there who is defending the finance minister is crying green tears. He lives in America. He doesn't have any care what we are feeling. Anthony in Mobay. How can you say that, Anthony in Mobay? How do you know he's not genuine? Here's another one. Good day, Mr. Malcolm. What the caller Crocs is insinuating is the other side of the story. Water is a high security issue. Geneva says, teacher, it's a fact. It's a fact. Farmers thief from other farmers. That is sad, Geneva. That is sad. Patriotic Jamaican in New York says, Mr. Malcolm, Jamaica does not have just a water management problem. Jamaica has a management problem. We have a problem managing water, managing electricity, managing agriculture, managing education, managing crime, I think you should change crime to safety and security. Because if they're managing crime, what are you saying there? Right? So managing safety and security, managing taxpayers' money. And I could go on and on. I'm still searching for one thing that the government of Jamaica has properly managed since 1962. Cuban in Georgia says, Sir Malcolm, tell that man I, Cuban, hold no brief for no guy, as Bob Marley says, and I'm not affiliated to no political parties whatsoever in Jamaica. But I am a born Jamaican and very disappointed with what is going on, how my brothers and sisters live in conditions. I'm very appalled with what is happening in my island. And then he sent another message. Okay, the media houses are the bridge between the government and the people. Have they abridged their responsibility as the third arm of government? I don't know about the third arm of government. We talk about the fourth estate. Sounds like you're talking about something else. Cuban in Georgia. So many messages, lots of them. We'll try to clear as many of them as possible after the break.
At Wellington Dental, they offer cleaning, filling, whitening, and other services for the entire family. The time by Wellington Dental is
4 o'clock.
Your taxes hold the key.
Tax Administration Jamaica presents Make We Talk Tax, Wednesdays at 3:15 p.m. on both sides of the story, a program that educates and informs taxpayers of the various payment options and services available at Tax Administration Jamaica and the ease of doing business. Make We Talk Tax is a production of Tax Administration Jamaica, working together to serve you even better.
Farmers, farm store owners, Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited has all the answers for your farming needs. Tune in every Wednesday during Farm Talk for the feature Farming Today, as we educate you on how to farm smarter. That's Farming Today, every Wednesday during Farm Talk, 6:18 to 6:45 a.m. Brought to you by Caribbean Chemicals Jamaica Limited, 2 East Ashenheim Road, Kingston.
Que hora es en espagnol? Son las 4:01. Quelle heure est-il en français? Les 4:01. 现在 TDN 了4点02分. A minute past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you had a checkup lately? If not, now is a good time. Let's not wait till we get sick to get a checkup. How about that? Checking in with more on your program, both sides of the story. Power 106 FM. Cuban in Georgia says, Sir Malcolm, until my Jamaican senior citizens and our young people living conditions improve in a dramatic way, I will continue to push the envelope until this becomes a reality. Our people deserve better and higher standards from our political representatives. And finally, Cuban in Georgia says, why don't we pause the debt payment and deal with the issues that are facing our citizens at this immediate time? Thank you, Cuban in Georgia, for your messages. Ellery Johnson says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. NWC had raised rates for water twice in less than a year, so why can't they pay the workers a good salary? And today, the person says, Mr. Malcolm, I agreed with the caller who said the opposition is sleeping when they did have a strong opposition if they were not sleeping. The government could not pass most of what was passed. I do not understand Jamaica politics. Do they take a vote to pass bills, or it is just left to the government? Take, for instance, a budget. Is there a vote? Of course, both sides are involved in that. Coming down the line, Tony Kelly says, the tears are just rushing down my cheeks. One of the most emotional and true to life videos I have watched, and this is Mental Health Week in Britain. I will be sharing this. Regards, Tony Kelly. We'll see if we get a chance to watch that, Tony Kelly. Philip Lawrence says, good morning. This is a very distraught customer of NWC from the community of Sandy Park that all know my community hasn't received. Oh, this was 7:32 this morning. I don't know if the message is still relevant. All know my community hasn't received any water in our pipe tap. Most likely surrounding communities also. And also, please shout out Mr. Delroy Truck. It's actually Chuck. It should be Chuck. But the person has Truck here. Mr. Delroy Chuck, he's the MP for the area. I need water before the day is done, like yesterday. So please shout out on the air and hope someone in authority will hear our plight. Blessings. Or please, can someone get in touch with a counselor to assist with the community to receive water? So please, can you give a shout out on air? Give thanks. Well, we just read your message on air, Philip Lawrence. Let's hope it didn't land on deaf ears. Anthony has sent us a voice note. We have to listen to that off air, Anthony. And we hope we get a chance to do that maybe in the next break. This one says, good day, Mr. Malcolm. I would like to know if I can share with you some information that scammers are using to access people's information. hoping you can share with the public for awareness. Of course, go ahead and WhatsApp us or voice note us the information. We'll check it and make a determination with respect to playing it. Thank you very much for your message. Let's move up the line. This one says, "Hi, Sir D. You see that shoe? It was made by our own Tanner's company in Jamaica here. I bought it around 2002 to 2003, and I am still wearing it at this very moment. So good can come out of Jamaica. We need leaders who are thinkers, and we must believe in ourselves and support Made in Jamaica, our brand. Thank you." Thank you very much. That's a nice pair of shoes. Thank you very much for sharing. Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary, says, "Good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Happy Thursday to you and your listeners. I just want to use this medium to extend on behalf of the Hunstown community our sincere condolences to the family of the late Barbara Gludon. I can remember Mrs. Gludon working with me to set up a fundraising event with the people from Lime Tree Lane in aid of the basic school in my community. The event did not take place due to the death of a member of the Lime Tree Lane crew who was from St. Mary. May her soul rest in peace and light perpetual shine on her." Clarky Bless in Hunstown, St. Mary. Working up the line. And good afternoon to Roy. Good to have you tuned in. We'll have to try and listen to your voice note off air. But thanks for the picture, priceless picture. Hello to Miss Nene. How are you, regular listener? Natalie Winter, good afternoon to you. Richie Innocent has sent us a voice note. When will we be able to listen to these voice notes? We'll try during the break coming up. Clifford says, "Hi, Dervan. Good job as usual. Is Mrs. Gordon from a place in Hanover called Harvey River near Askenish? Dervan, how many people and business places pay tax in Jamaica? Think about it. Check the phone book. Look at phone numbers. Good luck, Jamaica. I can wave down any cab 12 o'clock midnight without any fear. Kingston was like that before 1962. I left the country to Kingston in 1955. We hear you, Clifford. Brother Fair says, "Mr. Dervan, the Rascava observation on finance minister is just too little too late. He, Minister Clark, an autocratician, just don't listen to anyone's point in public conversation. He only does monologues. He doesn't have dialogue. Journalists find it hard," says Brother Fair. This is the thing. When you occupy certain positions, you have to do your best. Well, you have a choice. You can either choose to subject yourself to what comes with holding that position, or you're going to suppress your natural tendencies in order to at least appear to be sensitive to the needs of others and the concerns of others and the ideas of others. Here's a message that came through on the Power 106 FM WhatsApp. "Mr. Malcolm, good afternoon. I would like to know how much did it cost the country for the 2 days Water Commission lockdown because of the strike? And who is going to pay for the cost that the country has suffered during the time of the strike?" Richard from Portland. Here's another message. "Greetings. It's disturbing that we do not have a greater appreciation for the exposure of the immense talent of A.J. Boots Brown. We are agog at male and female artists who have taken our music to the lowest levels of indecency and depravity and present to the world as the standard bearers of our musical talent. All this while totally ignoring a very humble and super talented Jamaican singer whose tenor ranks with the best in the world. Has he been given a national award? Has his voice been used in any public promotions? Every time I hear one of his songs played, it makes my day. And another message, let's pause to welcome home the new U.S. ambassador to Jamaica. It will be nice to have someone of sound intellect, decency, and good character in that position once more. It should be a very hot and interesting summer. I'm looking towards his tenure with great anticipation. And of course, he is Jamaican. Here is another message. This one is from H. Morgan in Birmingham. He says, hi, Dervan. We have a very lucky individual in the UK. This message came in yesterday. Who won the UK biggest jackpot ever. 180 million pounds. My God. 180 million pounds. Very lucky indeed. Now, that should be able to pay off Jamaica's debt. I wonder if it's a Jamaican who won that. In a matter of speaking. Anyway, our debt is in trillions, no? Today, H. Morgan in Birmingham says the Birmingham Mint used to print money for many countries, but they are now closed. The Royal Mint prints the England coins plus notes for around 80 countries across the world, but the De La Rue prints the England banknotes plus for around 140 central bank notes. Right. That's what we read and shared on the program a few days ago. H. Morgan in Birmingham. Thank you very much for your message. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine says, shout out to all the listeners from across the world, from Ricardo Porteous. Mr. Dervan Malcolm, what is your greatest moment about Mrs. Barbara Gludon, from Ricardo Porteous? I don't know. Well, she had her own style of pronouncing some words, for example, I remember, like picture. She would say picture as opposed to picture, etc. And she was quite a storyteller. And her influence and impact on theater is extraordinary. She wrote quite a number of pantomimes. And her daughter, Anya, has and continues to keep that flag flying. But yeah, all the best to the family, friends, colleagues, neighbors, well-wishers of the late Dr. the Honorable Barbara Gludon, OJ. Here's... who's this now? All right, I don't think this... No, that's not meant for me. Let's move on. Hey, here's Crocs in Black River. Crocs says, Dervan, I was always here, circling slowly and patiently, waiting to clamp my powerful jaws around my prey. Uh-oh. Scary, Crocs. Scary, scary. Anyway, always good to hear from you. We know you mean your country well. We have no doubt about that. And let's clear some more messages just before we take the break. Hello to Cornelius Watson. Cornelius says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. Enjoying your program. Thanks to the caller with a question on the digital currency format. Very informative. Happy Nurses Day to all nurses across the globe. Thank you for your message, Cornelius. Faye Weller says, good afternoon, Mr. Dervan and listeners. We in St. Mary getting lots of rain. Stay dry, Faye Weller. Stay dry and safe. And everybody in St. Mary, be careful. Be careful in terms of how you go about traversing the terrain during the rain. Atoy Brown says, Miss Gludon was a true legend, R.I.P. This is Atoy Brown from London and Guys Hill, Jamaica. He says, hi, Dervan, I would like to send my deepest condolences to the legendary Miss Barbara Gludon. Wow, she was such a lovely lady. I grew up in Guys Hill along with my late mother, listening to Hotline on RGR with Miss Gludon. Rest in peace. There's more after the break.
Oh, I know we've come a long way, but changing day.
Get high-quality blinds and beautiful windows, drapes, and wooden flooring from Sam the Blind Man, 40 Barnett Street, Montego Bay. The time by Sam the Blind Man is 4:15.
Trangbach tonic wine is made with 100% natural Jamaican blends of herbs and spices formulated to strengthen the back, settle the nerves, and enhance your sexual performance. Trangbach tonic wine is available in all major supermarkets and wholesale island-wide. For more information, you can call us 876-749-1286, 876-667-0489, or visit us at 53 Wellington Street, Spanish Town. Trangbach tonic wine. Straighten your back. Select the attack.
The best of youth and agriculture will be on display when the Jamaica 4-H Clubs presents National Achievement Expo blended version under the theme Youth and Agriculture, Strengthening Food Security Through Innovation and Technology. 4-H Training Center, Denby, Clarendon. Come see agricultural food production and technology media, Facebook, Clover TV, YouTube, and Zoom. Friday, May 13, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sponsored by the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries, Jamaica Dairy Development Board, Digicel Foundation, Joan Duncan JMB Foundation, and H&L Agro Plant Quarantine Division.
4-H clubs across Jamaica will parade their accomplishments, having participated in highlighting the agricultural competencies, education, skills, and achievements at the parish level in this year's staging of the Jamaica 4-H Club's National Achievement Day, under the theme Youth in Agriculture, Strengthening Food Security Through Innovation and Technology. This Friday, May 13 at the Denby Showground in Clarendon. Tune into Power Talk from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for highlights from the event. This live broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica 4-H Clubs, the College of Agriculture, Science and Education, CASE, the National Irrigation Commission, NIC, and SCJ Holdings Limited.
Well, I think it's fine. Flying jumbo plane.
Que hora es en español? Son las 4:17. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 4:17. 现在几点了？4点17分。17 minutes past 4 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Have you done your homework yet? If not, now is a good time. Good afternoon to all the schoolers listening to us, all the students from the early childhood level to the secondary level. Trust you had a productive day of learning today. Hope you also managed to get in some physical activity, just as important as mental activity. As we always say, young people, socialization makes you educable. Education makes you trainable. Training makes you employable. And the right attitude makes you successful. Homework time, young people. Sophia Nemard from New Orleans, St. Elizabeth, good afternoon to you. How are you? Norman Hines in St. Thomas says, good afternoon, Sir Dervan, Malcolm, and listeners. Today is my wife, Mitzi Hines' birthday. Well, she has my sister's first name, Mitzi, spelled differently though. Well, happy birthday, Mitzi Hines. Happy birthday, Mrs. Mitzi Hines. And all the best coming from your husband, Norman Hines. Happy birthday, Mitzi Hines. And I think we have covered, what are we missing now? Let's make sure we don't, oh, I still didn't get a chance to listen to those voice notes. Hope I get the chance. Truth to Power says that a lie. Don't know what is a lie. Tell us, Truth to Power, what is a lie? Casita Johnson says sound embarrassment. And Leighton Griffith asks, are the people who work at these agencies doing their job to serve the people? Stop blaming the government workers. No, stop blaming the government. Workers need to do their job. Let me read the message again from Leighton Griffiths. He asks, are the people who work at these agencies doing their job to serve the people? Stop blaming the government. Workers need to do their job, says Leighton Griffiths. And then he sends a rejoinder. He says, all these people who are mad at the Prime Minister, why you all didn't go out and vote for Peter Phillips? Because you didn't like him. American always come out for them party. Let me see if I can read this again. All these people who are mad at the Prime Minister, why you all didn't go out and vote for Peter Phillips? Because you all didn't like him. Americans always come out for them party, says Leighton Griffiths on YouTube. Thank you very much for your messages. Are we missing any? Let's go over to, who is this? Oh, Sophia Nemard says, I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. How about you? I'm fine, thanks, Sophia Nemard. How's the weather in Newell in St. Elizabeth? How's the weather? All right. And here's Crocs in Black River. He says, talking about tanners. In the 80s, I used to walk from the wharves around to tanners during my lunchtime to buy ballet shoes made from the real cowskin leather. Yeah, there was even a song, wasn't there? Something about man and woman just a step it in ballet. Oh, yeah. Or something to that effect. Yeah. Are those shoes still being made? I don't know. Ballet people? Or it's all about Clarks these days? Need to check that. But right. I'm very familiar with that area as well, Crocs, where Tanner's is or was located. Clifford asks, does anyone know the exact part of Jamaica Miss Gloudon was born? I was reading it a while ago. What did I do with the information? I was reading it. I think it's St. Elizabeth. Don't quote me on that just yet. Here we go. Let's see. Going down the line. Where is the bit of her background where she was from? Going up. Right. So here it is. The information, the background on Dr. the Honorable Barbara Gloudon OJ. From modest beginnings in Malvern, St. Elizabeth. That's where she was from. Malvern in St. Elizabeth. As one of 9 children born to Vivian and Doris Goodison, Barbara Joy Gloudon rose in stature to become a giant in Jamaica's cultural and communications landscape. Perhaps best known to the Jamaican public for her work in the theater, specifically for writing the scripts for the national pantomimes, Gloudon began her professional life as a journalist in 1951 when she was hired as a reporter at the Gleaner. And the story goes on. So that answers the question as to where. She also attended St. Andrew High School for Girls. That was her alma mater, St. Andrew High School for Girls. And she participated in the yearly schools drama festival and became involved with the Little Theatre movement. And she has written a couple of radio serials as well. Remember Wrong Move? Wrong move, no make no wrong move. They use it from the theme song from the original song that was recorded. Who was that? Josie Wales? Or one of those. And she also wrote, she did a lot of writing. All right, hope that answers your question, the person who wanted to know where in Jamaica Barbara Gloudon was from. And Cornelius Watson says, is the Jamaican airspace still closed? That's a pertinent question. Let's do a quick check. What are we seeing here? All right, so some hope. Hope springs eternal in the human breast. The latest story from the Gleaner in that regard is British Airways flight to land in Kingston this afternoon. At least one major carrier has been given the green light to land at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston, even while air traffic controllers remain off the job. British Airways out of London Gatwick will arrive in Kingston. Well, it has arrived. That was scheduled for just after 4 o'clock this afternoon, with about 300 passengers who departed the UK this morning. The Boeing 777 is one of a few aircraft allowed to land on either the Sangster International Airport tarmac or Kingston's as the controllers continue their unresolved dispute with the government. The aircraft, which would have normally returned on the same day, will remain in Jamaica until tomorrow. Air traffic controllers stopped working at 10 a.m. today, forcing the cancellation of numerous flights, stranding thousands of passengers. Not good for Jamaica. Not good at all, as we said at the start. Don't get us started on that again. This is not good either. Police Federation chairman hospitalized. We're sorry to hear that. What's the story? Chairman of the Jamaica Police Federation, Corporal Rohan James, has been hospitalized. The Gleaner was informed that James fell ill while at the conference of the Caribbean Federation of Police Welfare Associations today. The Gleaner's news team was informed that he was being treated at a hospital in Western Jamaica. The nature of his illness and condition in hospital are not known. A message asking for prayers has since been shared with rank and file members of the constabulary force who are represented by the Federation. We're sorry to hear that. And we trust that the Police Federation chairman will recover speedily. All the best. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaner's website, go-jamaica.com. Not so good news here either, coming in. JDF undertaking search and rescue for men missing at sea in St. Anne. The Jamaica Defense Force is reporting that a search and rescue operation continues in St. Anne for 2 men at sea. The men, identified as Jerome and John, went fishing on Friday, May 6, aboard the vessel Isabella. When they did not return home, the boat's owner, Greg Samuels, made a report to the JDF on Monday. The report was made after all his attempts to communicate with the vessel proved futile. The Isabella is said to be white and black, 28 feet in length, and has a 250 horsepower Yamaha 4-stroke engine. The JDF says it has dispatched vessels and aircraft to conduct a search. However, neither the boat nor the men have been recovered. The search continues. The JDF is advising all vessels transiting the north coast of Jamaica to be on the lookout for the boat, render assistance where possible, and report any sighting of the vessel or crew to the Coast Guard. You can call 876-322-6602 or 876-322-6599. That's 876-322-6602 or 876-322-6599. There's also the JDF tip line at 876-837-8888. That's the JDF tip line, 876-837-8888. We trust that those 2 men will be found alive and brought back to shore, assuming they have not ended up on a shore somewhere out there. And I think we have covered. I think we have covered some of the most of the stories, the top stories at this time. You can keep listening for the details in major news at 5.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:30.
Good news! Private HIV care is now more affordable with Health Connect Jamaica. What that means is you can access HIV care with a private doctor at little to no cost. Give us a call at 876-669-7349 or book an appointment at healthconnectja.com today. The preceding ad was brought to you in partnership with USAID. Farmers, come for a candid conversation with the Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, the Honorable Pernell Charles Jr. Learn more about the agricultural sector and the role we all play with its development. That's a Morning with the Minister, every second and fourth Friday of every month during Farm Talk with Alfie McKenzie, right here on Power 106 FM.
Where do they play? Where do they play? Where do they play? Got nowhere to play. They got nowhere to play. They got nowhere to play.
Que ahora es en español, son las 5 menos 29. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5h moins 29. 现在几点了？5点加29分。29 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Do you know where your children are? Are they where they're supposed to be? Doing what they're supposed to be doing? It's a good time to check up on the children. A good time for us to continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com, live on your smart devices all over the world, taking your calls on 876-922-4112-5, 876-922-4112-5, the text line, same as the WhatsApp number. Ricardo in Glengoff, St. Catherine says, my condolences to the family of Mrs. Gludon from Ricardo Porteous. Crocs in Black River says, Dervan, now back to serious business. I read in the Gleaner yesterday that the businessman from Westmoreland, whose arrest led to the finding of the large sum of money in Montego Bay, has been granted a $1.5 million bail, supposedly because he had cooperated with the police. If so, should that have been disclosed? Shouldn't he be placed in protective custody if they think that he will be of value to them? We would like to think so, Crocs and Black River. That seems like a natural progression in these matters, that you would in fact protect the interest of the accused turned crown witness, so to speak. Yeah, something is not adding up there. Something is not adding up there. But let the record show that you raise the matter, Crocs, and we'll see what comes out of it and whether we will be talking about this again when there is a new development. Thank you for your message. Cornelius Watson asks, aren't ATCs essential personnel? Yes, they are. They are. Oh, you did ask the question, Cornelius, whether the Jamaican airspace was still closed. Apparently, for everybody else except, or for every other airline except, which airline did we say was flying in? Oops, went out of my head. Was it British Airways? I think so. I think so. I think that would be the only British Airways, yes, British Airways. That's the only the only flight that is coming in, and this is going to be. I'm not sure it's clear. Did it say? Yeah, yeah. The plane landed or was scheduled to land at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We haven't seen any information that says otherwise, and so we have to take it that this British Airways flight with 300 passengers from the UK arrived in Kingston just after 4 o'clock this afternoon. So that's the only one that is being allowed to land, it seems. Who was it who asked the question? That was Cornelius. That's the only airline that is being allowed to land. Now to your question, aren't ATCs essential service personnel, meaning aren't air traffic controllers essential service personnel? Yes, but in this instance, they did give a warning, the air traffic controllers. They did give notice. They did give notice. And I think that's the difference here between the air traffic controllers and the National Water Commission, close to 2,000 workers. I think that's the difference here. They did, in fact, give notice. And Cornelia says, if they are they allowed to strike like that? Well, they gave notice, and that should cover them. That should cover them, the fact that they gave notice. But I'm more concerned about the air traffic control mechanism and whether it is really fully functional or malfunctioning. And if so, when did we know this? And whoever has the day-to-day is responsible for the day-to-day operations. And indeed, the minister cannot escape blame either. So between the management and the ministry, between the operational team and the ministry, somebody has to give an account. What did you know? When did you know it? And what did you do about it? What did you know? When did you know it? And what did you do about it? Donald Webb says, National Water Commission on strike. What a joke. The times in the island water lock off for most of the time. Right. Thank you for your message, Donald Webb. And Cornelius Watson says, thanks for the clarification. Happy so to do, Clarence. And let's go to the text line, same as the WhatsApp number, 876-365-3346. Michael on our text line says, good afternoon, Mr. Malcolm. We are now able to hear the broadcast from Power 106 in St. Anne's Bay. I would like to wish all the nurses in St. Anne a wonderful day from Michael in St. Anne's Bay. Thank you very much for your message. We're going to forward the information to the transmission group. We're going to forward the information right now to the WhatsApp group. Okay, here we go. Because we usually load them up when there are problems. So when the problems have been resolved, we should do likewise. So thanks to the engineering team for getting St. Anne's Bay and surrounding areas up and running again as far as the transmission is concerned. Thank you very much. This is your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's see, more messages. Who is this now? Natalie Winter says, when people give notice, they're not taken seriously, so action is the thing. Well, giving notice is the lawful thing to do. Even in war, there are rules of engagement. Just remember that. Even in war, there are rules of engagement. There are just some things that you do not do, even in war. And the same goes for any other arrangement where the rules are laid down, the regulations, the protocols, etc. When we breach those, it's a breach of trust. And it sets a bad precedence. So these things we have to take into account. Let's see if we can share. What time is it? Okay. Well, as we told you at the start, it's International Nurses Day. And on this International Nurses Day, we want to pause to remember not only the English nurse and hospital reformer Florence Nightingale, who was born on this day in 1820, but we want to cherish the memory and the teachings of the great Mary Seacole, who was born Mary Joan Grant some 217 years ago, right here in Kingston, Jamaica. Mary Joan Grant, or Mary Seacole, was born to a Creole mother and a Scottish father. It was from her mother that she undoubtedly inherited her love of nursing. Her mother, nicknamed the Doctress, kept a lodging house at East Street in Kingston, where she nursed army officers and their families from Up Park Camp. At age 12, after much observation, Mary was allowed to help her mother with the patients. It was not mentioned at what age she married Edwin Horatio Seacole, an invalid who was a godson of British naval hero Admiral Horatio Nelson. Still newlyweds, they moved to Black River, where they established a store. That's right. They realized that many soldiers were dying not from war wounds, but from illnesses such as cholera and dysentery. She therefore felt that her experience with these diseases would be of value in the Crimea. Mary set sail for England soon after, but despite a letter of introduction to Florence Nightingale, she was not recruited to join the group of nurses going to the Crimea. She spent months in London, trekking from one war office to another, failing to find acceptance. Eventually, she decided to go on her own and cashed in the assets she had and set out to build her own hotel for invalids in the Crimea. Mrs. Seacole built a hotel called Spring Hill, 2 miles from Balaclava and a mile from the British headquarters. Before long, the British Hotel, for so she named it, had become a refuge of warmth and comfort where good, well-cooked food could always be had for soldiers. Had to be a Jamaican. Only a Jamaican woman could have these soldiers literally eating out of her hands, literally and figuratively. So she provided food, real, well-cooked food, and they could always count on her for that. She dispensed medicine, meals, and even occasional entertainment. She made home visits to the campsites. She procured supplies that were otherwise unavailable. Mrs. Seacole would set out carrying bags of lint, bandages, needles, thread. Hold on, let's take the break and come back.
Knowledge is power. Class is in session. Power 106.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
4:45.
All you'll ever need to know about agriculture in the 21st century, packed into one program. Farm Talk with Althea Mackenzie. Farm Talk, showcasing cutting-edge agricultural products, services, and practices. Farm Talk, keeping focus on issues affecting the farming community. Farm Talk, stimulating discourse to propel agriculture as a national tool for development. Farm Talk with Althea Mackenzie, the farmer's best friend.
When I listen to you in the mornings and the way you interview the people so that us as farmers can really understand, you break it down. It's really powerful.
Wake up to Farm Talk, weekdays 5 to 7 a.m. on Power 106 FM and the Power 106 FM app.
Lord, and you think it's life. I know we've come a long way.
How long is this song?
Changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play?
Que hora es en español? Son las 5 menos 14. Quelle heure est-il en français? Il est 5 heures moins 14. 现在几点了？5点下14分. 14 minutes to 5 o'clock in the afternoon here at Broadcast House, 32 Lyndhurst Road, Kingston 5, St. Andrew, Jamaica. Good afternoon to all working Jamaicans tuned into both sides of the story here on Power 106 FM. It's a good time for us to ask ourselves, how productive have we been today? How productive have we been today? Back to Mary Seacole. She would set out carrying bags of lint, bandages, needles, thread, and medicine, accompanied by mules loaded with sandwiches and other food, wine, and spirits, arriving on the battlefield at dawn. She was sometimes under fire, attending the wounded and taking food to the famished with an ever-ready hand. She risked her life in faithful devotion to the soldiers she loved so loyally. Mary Seacole returned to London deeply in debt. However, the British Commander-in-Chief of the Crimea Forces and the Duke of Wellington and Newcastle organized a 4-day festival of music and gave her the proceeds. Mary Seacole died in England in 1881. Her statue stands majestically at St. Thomas's Hospital, Lambeth, London, overlooking the River Thames and also the Parliament in the UK. And we feel privileged to have been able to visit that St. Thomas's Hospital and spend some time at Mary Seacole's statue and felt a lot of pride that another Jamaican of international repute had been recognized in the way Mary Seacole was. And so on this International Nurses Day, we continue to salute our nurses who need not look too far to find a shining example in the late, great Mary Seacole. There you go. Let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, here on Power 106 FM, still streaming live on the Gleaners website, go-jamaica.com. Live on your smart devices all over the world. Let's give you some quick stories, just a reminder of where we're coming from. A couple of quick stories, and then you can see for yourself that the more things change, it's the more they remain the same, as the expression goes. Because problems we were grappling with years ago are still with us. and we therefore still have a far way to go. But let's clear a few messages. We may or may not have the time to go through those Gleaner headlines over the years, as in particular those from this day in the respective years. So here is Neville, otherwise known as Salah, saying, Dervan, good day. Dervan, why is this government allowed to get away with almost everything? Nobody is pushing for the government to do the right thing. This government is getting away with too much. I am Salah from Kingston. But you haven't stated what. You would need to tell us what. What is the government getting away with, Salah? You have only said that the government is getting away with almost everything, but you haven't said what. Anyway, thanks for your message. Clifford asks, did Mary Seacole have any kids or went to medical school? I don't recall ever reading about children. No, I don't recall ever reading about Mary Seacole having children. No, she didn't go to any medical school. She learned at the feet of her mom. Remember, we said her mom was referred to as the doctress. The doctress, Doctress. Her mom kept a lodging house at East Street in Kingston, and that's where she nursed the army officers. Now, as to where she got, and so this is what Mary Seacole's mom used to do, and so Mary Seacole learned from her mom. So that's pretty much it. She didn't go to medical school. But it just goes to show that if we employ this thing up here called a brain, or if we want to, or if we want to say our mind, if more of us were to just employ this thing called a brain, we'd be amazed at how much more we're able to achieve. Because everything starts up here. Everything starts in the mind. The microphone in the studio is somebody's idea. The pen I've been using is somebody's idea. The cell phones, somebody's idea. The laptop, somebody's idea. The light bulb, somebody's idea. Wherever you are right now, the clothes you're wearing is somebody's idea. The vehicle you're driving is somebody's idea. The shoes you're wearing, you get the picture. It all starts with an idea. It starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. All right, let's continue with more on your program, Both Sides of the Story, Power 106 FM. Let's do a final sweep to see if there are other messages that we missed. Velta Wilson in St. Thomas says, blessings to you, Mr. Malcolm, and listeners. To you too, Velta Wilson. Thank you very much. Also, who is this? Big up. This is from Natalie Winter in Washington Gardens. Big up to all the hardworking nurses in Jamaica and worldwide. You are the backbone of the healthcare system. Thank you very much for your message, Natalie. And just to make sure we're not forgetting anybody or leaving out any of the messages, I think we have covered all the messages. So just maybe one or two Gleaner stories down the years. So many to choose from. Let's go down the line. And which one is this now? Da. Coming down. Couple of things here. Councillor Wills O. Isaacs angrily condemned the oil companies operating in Jamaica. on this day in 1950 for the racial discrimination they practice in the treatment of their staff. While they appoint Jamaicans, he says these people are not black. The English members of staff also sit on one side of the room and the Jamaicans on the other, and they are not expected to mingle. Isaacs makes these comments at a council meeting at which councillors are angrily discussing replies received from the commercial banks in response to a request by the corporation for the employment of qualified black Jamaicans. On this day in 1951, Norman Manley's car got out of control of his driver between Mandeville and Williamsfield, skidded off the road and overturned. Manley and his driver were unhurt. On this day in 1951, landing lights recently installed under the supervision of Charles Salmon of the Public Works Department at the Montego Bay International Airport are used for the first time by a late departing BOAC plane. In October 1950, motorcar owners were called to use their headlights to light the runway to enable an Ecuadorian plane to make an emergency landing. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? Do we have more? What time is it? Let's see if we can fit in a couple more. Couple of short ones, maybe. Members of the St. James, 1955, members of the St. James Parochial Board agreed by majority vote to change the name of Montego Bay to City of Montego Bay. I guess that didn't work out, eh? Because it's still Montego Bay. And can we get in another one? 1956, according to the latest Register of Medical Practitioners published in the Jamaica Gazette, there were 63 women doctors qualified to practice in Jamaica. The list was being increased or was increasing each year by the University College of the West Indies. Can we thank you once again for the privilege of serving you on yet another edition of your program, Both Sides of the Story, for today, Thursday, the 12th of May, 2022. The moving finger writes, and having writ moves on, nor all your piety nor wit shall lure it back to cancel half a line, nor all your tears wash out a word of it. All things being well, Both Sides of the Story returns tomorrow afternoon, 2 to 5. Till then, this is Dervan Malcolm reminding all of us that every day is an opportunity to do better than yesterday. Take care.
But you don't care, and the people complain, and the whole state there. Whoa, I know we've come a long way, changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play? Where do they play? Where do they play? And there's a tax increase with every crop decrease. And we learn to fight one another. Tell us that you stand for peace. But you work in the day and you sleep at night, and you live in the dark, Lord, and you think it's light. I know we've come a long way, changing day to day. But tell me, where do the children play? Where do they play? Where do they play? Where do they play? Got nowhere to play. They got nowhere to play. They got nowhere to play. Nowhere to play. Nowhere to play. They got nowhere to play.
Bye.
You're listening to Power 106 FM. The time is now
5 o'clock.
News, comprehensive, powerful, and credible.
Power 106 FM now presents